Welcome everyone to TMOLR Texas. We are rapidly coming up to the end of 2023. With that said, I hope everyone had a fantastic Merry Christmas and you're all safe and sound and got everything your heart desired. Now we're coming up on the celebration of the year's end and a brand new start in the year 2024. So everyone, I hope you make memories that last a lifetime and you are safe and sound, make great decisions, and bring 2024 in the right way with a bang, with a positive bang, and we're all safe and here next week and for years and years and years to come. On this week's episode of TMOLR Texas, we are going to travel back to the San Bernard River. Now, we're going to be looking at the San Bernard River more in the northern aspects of Brazoria County. We're going to start at Hanson Park. They're just outside of West Columbia. Then we're going to travel up the road just about maybe 6 miles or so to the crossing at Farm Market Road 1301. And in the last clip, we're going to be just west of Needville, Texas, right there on the Wharton-Fort Bend County line on Farm Market Road 442. Now, what I want you to really kind of pay attention to in the first two clips is the condition of the San Bernard River. And really just look at how much wider and how much healthier the water, the river, everything about it at Hanson Park. And we go a few miles to the north and it's almost completely different. And we're going to have some video of that. And I'm also going to either overlay or chop up the video a little bit and put a couple of map pictures in there from Google Maps that kind of gives you an idea of where I am. I'm also going to come back at some point in the video and kind of give you what I think is maybe a theory, and that's all it is a theory as to why there is such a big difference in the condition of the river between the point at Hanson Park and then the point there at 1301. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. We are here at Hanson Riverside Park, just outside of West Columbia, just off of State Highway 35. And continuing on with our look at the San Bernard River, it's going to be over here off to my left here, but just want to kind of give you an idea of the layout here. We've got the Hanson Riverside County Park dedication stone, I guess is what we'll call it, or placard. And this is the park. Little factoid for getting to know me a little bit better, I guess, is that pavilion over there was the site of my son's first birthday party. And I remember that quite vividly. And they do have a little park area for the kids to play on, and there are several trails that go through this area. But we're going to walk over to the riverside over here, and you can get right up on the river, which is pretty great. And I want to thank the Lord God Almighty for holding off the rain. It's supposed to rain pretty bad this Christmas weekend. It is the 23rd, and I'm on my way to my family's place to visit with them for Christmas. And here's the San Bernard. Basically, we'll call it West Columbia. And there she is. It's nice. I mean, she's not incredibly wide here, but in much better health as compared to where we saw the San Bernard near New Ulm and even in East Bernard, which really isn't that far away. But we are still in the midst of fall, and winter. We're in winter now. Yesterday was the first day of winter, and it's probably in the low 70s. We got a nice breeze running through right now, which is great. But you can see the sky does look a little bit threatening, and we do have the nice fall leaves, winter leaves for our southeast Texas. But they are pretty colors, and you can see that most of the trees here have already lost most of their leaves and everything. There's a few stragglers over there, but we are going to head over real quick to hopefully there's a place I can pull out. I haven't been on, I believe it's Farm Market Road 1301 in many years, but we're going to try to see what the health of the San Bernard is there. And on my way back to home base, I'm gonna try to take the scenic route and go into near bowling. And the reason I want to kind of focus on bowling a little bit too is because it seems like every time that there is a river flooding incident with the San Bernard, bowling typically gets the worst of it. So we're gonna run over to 1301 crossing of the San Bernard River, and we'll see you here in just a little bit. Okay, so now we are at the San Bernard River at 1301, and as you can see, I am underneath the bridge and had to walk down that hill a little bit. We're not far from Hanson Park. As a matter of fact, I will go ahead and show you the distance between Hanson Park and where we are here on a map. But this, again, looks a little concerning, especially in this area, this close to the mouth of the Bernard. Look at that. Looks like a creek. And it's pretty steep here. I don't want to lose my footing. I mean, you can tell the water is moving and all. There's a lot of debris. It needs to be cleaned up over here, and and if you look on the map, and I may bring it up while I'm talking here, but at points the San Bernard looks like it's a stream, and it's kind of crazy that it goes. It's so wide. Sorry, that was my phone that went off. Yes, that was the thing to One Day at a Time that you heard. But it just, I don't know, it seems kind of crazy that I'm gonna guesstimate 5 miles, maybe, if that. It may not even be 5 miles. But the change in the appearance and the health of the river is downright insane. I don't know. Again, just like in the first video, I am very concerned about this river. It's definitely not the Brazos, but it's where it is not good. So I hope everyone has, or had, this will come out after Christmas. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Here in a couple days I'll be headed over to bowling and check that out. So we'll see you at the next stop. After those first two clips, I hope that you can really see the drastic and major difference in the health of the river comparing Hanson Park to there at 1301. And I do have a theory, and that, like I said earlier, that's all it is. I have nothing to prove this theory. We'll call it a hypothesis, if that term, maybe that's a better term. But there is something along the San Bernard River that really, for lack of a better term, it concerns me, and I think that it may be part of the reason that the San Bernard seems to change there somewhere between Hanson Park and the bridge at 1301, and that is the Phillips 66 San Bernard Terminal. And I'll bring up a map that you can kind of get an idea of where this terminal is in relationship to the Gulf Coast and the towns and everything like that. Now, I will say this. As a child, I did spend a lot of time in the San Bernard River. I had some friends that lived in Holiday Shores. They're just outside of Brazoria. It's right there on the San Bernard River off of Farm Market Road 521. We always went down to the park and we would swim in the river and just have a good time down there, just being crazy teenagers. But quite often actually, you would see these barges going up and down the San Bernard River. And we had no idea, at least I had no idea of where these barges go. It was later on that I realized that Phillips 66 does have a barge terminal there on the San Bernard River. And the Phillips 66 plant is going to be just maybe northwest of Sweeney on Highway 35, and it used to be 524. Now it's part of Phillips, but right there around the old Ocean area, right there on Highway 35. And that's their terminal. And I guess that's where they get a lot of their chemicals and stuff like that come from overseas that are transported on barge. Now, when we're looking at this map, I want you to kind of notice that in this, you got Surfside Beach, and on the other side of Surfside Beach, you got Quintana Beach and Bryan Beach. And with Surfside Beach, that is the old mouth of the Brazos. Now, the Brazos they repositioned it, redirected it to where it goes to the new mouth, which is just on the other side of Bryan Beach. And you've got the intercoastal waterway that goes through there. And even further to the southwest, I guess you could call it the southwest, is the mouth of the San Bernard. Now, what I have been told, and this is an area that I have not yet been able to get to because it's in I don't think you can really drive there. I'm going to double check that. However, that the mouth of the San Bernard is, for all intents and purposes, impassable. There's been a lot of sandbar buildup and other things like that that is preventing the San Bernard from being used other than maybe small boats, kayaks, canoes, things like that. But barges would not be able to go through there. So my theory is that they're either using the old or the new mouth of the Brazos, getting onto the intercoastal waterway, and then going up the San Bernard, where the San Bernard conjoins with that intercoastal waterway, and it makes its way up to the San Bernard terminal. What we have seen all the way from its start toward New Ulm, down in Cat Springs, and then all the way to 1301, what we're seeing is that the San Bernard in many places looks more like a creek, or not. I wouldn't even call it a babbling stream. It's very unhealthy. It's almost dry in certain points. Now, my theory is that somewhere after Hanson Park, along the San Bernard River, it's either been blocked, or there's maybe some type of dam or something like that to keep the majority of the water where it's deep for these barges to be able to travel between the intercoastal waterway and the Phillips 66 San Bernard terminal. What I would like to do is maybe get in a kayak or a canoe or something like that, launch from Hanson Park, go upriver, and see where the river drastically changes. What is causing that drastic change, and actually get it on film, and actually get an idea of what's going on there. So that's my theory. Like I said, it's a theory. I have no backing behind it. It's just a thought, and I could be 110,000% wrong. But that is where that's my thought process at this point. But I wanted to share that with everyone. So there you go. And let's go ahead and check out what the San Bernard looks like just west of Needville on Farm Market Road 442. Well, it is Christmas afternoon, round about 4 o'clock, and I am heading back to Rosenberg. So I took a little detour off of 36 on Farm Market Road 442 and came to another crossing of the San Bernard. And I'm just going to show that to you real quick. And it's a little further down than I'm willing to go, because that looks like it's really steep down there. But here we go. And you may be able to see it right through there. And again, looks very narrow. And there's not a whole lot there, water-wise. But it seems like it gets somewhat more narrow the further north that you get. And this is an area down here that does tend to get flooded quite a bit, especially in the bowling area. And we're maybe about 6 or 7 miles from bowling here, maybe about probably 6 miles from Needville as well. So there's a lot of things going on, and I'm gonna record a little bit once I get back to home base. And I've got some thoughts. I could be wrong, but some thoughts that kind of occurred to me over the past couple of days doing the filming for the San Bernard episode part 2. And I'd like to share those with you when I get to home base. As you can plainly see, I have made it back to home base. And I would like to know what you think about the theory that I have. Now, granted, it's nothing earth-shattering or groundbreaking or anything like that. And I try to base my decisions and my thoughts in logic, but We're human and we're fallible, and maybe my logic is flawed. But it to me right now, that makes the most sense. I do not know when I will be able to get into a boat and go upstream from Hanson Park toward 1301 to actually see what's causing this dramatic change. But as soon as I'm able to, I will do that, because the San Bernard River north of Hanson Park is in bad shape. And it's a river that I think is important enough to preserve, and it has history to it. So I look at the San Bernard River much like I look at the Brazos River. It's something that needs to be preserved. It's something that needs to be taken care of. And whether it's at the county level, the state level, or even at the federal level, something needs to be done to better the health of the San Bernard River. But if you have thoughts on anything that I've covered in past videos, if you have anything to say on this particular video, please feel free to hit me up on social media on Facebook and Instagram. I can be found at TMOLR Texas, on X, formerly Twitter, TMOLR1, and of course my email is TMOLR1973@gmail.com. Do not hesitate to hit me up with if you've got a different theory. I'd love to hear it. Or if you think that my theory is somewhat flawed, let me know where my flaw is at in my logic. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode as much as I enjoyed filming it and making it for you. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing, and of course, share it with anyone you think may enjoy this type of content. So until next time, this is Little Rage.